Okay, and we are live, it seems to be. Um okay, sorry. Every time I go live, I'm like, it's happening. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I don't know, that sounds so silly. Hi, hello tax evader. Ooh, like the name. I love it. As long as you're not fucking Elon Musk evading your taxes, then I'm happy for you. As long as you're not a fucking billionaire. So good to see ya. Hello, Scoom Kitty. Hello, Lonely Flower Pot. Oh, we have a flower and another flower in here. We are probably related somewhere down the line. Hello, Jiggle Jig. I'm pissed too. Yes. Okay. I'm glad that we know that's why we're here. I'm just pissed off. Hiya, Zenatax. Zenat. I'm messing that up. If you want, you can let me know how to properly say that. Zenatax. And hello, David Loner. Hi. We get just a high period because we're fucking pissed off today. Love the energy, David. Hell no. Already love the name. Yes, we're fucking done. Okay, so yeah, I am just here just to like hang out and just kind of ramble about, because I'm obviously pissed off about the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. I don't know if I have anything to say that people are not already saying. I just am like, this is a moment where it's like, let's just hang out on stream and just kind of rant about it. I never do live streams, so I'm also just kind of actually freaking out because I'm like, oh, I never do live streams. So I'm like, what am I doing? But oh, thank you. Okay, rambling is fine. Rambling is based. Ooh, that sounds like something a debate bro would say. So now I'm like, ooh, tax evader, are you cool? Because you're saying the word based. That's a red flag to me now. Anything based, cringe, good faith, disingenuous, what else? Bad faith, misrepresentate, any of that shit. I'm like, you know what? Those used to be useful words. Now I don't fucking know who you are. Who are you? Are you fucking trying to infiltrate me right now? Okay, I am actually overwhelmed though because I never actually have this much interaction. I have a book club, everybody. I have a book club, and whenever I post my books, no one fucking comes on here to talk this much. So I was not expecting this. So y'all better come to the book club is what I'm saying when we stream it. But basically, yeah, just the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. Like, we all knew, like, we saw this like coming a mile away. We just all knew that this person was going to be we just all knew that this person was going to be like let off, and we knew that they were going to basically get seen as innocent. And even then, I just reading the news about it though, there was something that just was so gross about like everything that's happened. And so like I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna try streaming. But yeah, I guess I'll just start going over some stuff that just like kind of bothered me. Yeah, I'm sorry that I never do this. I never live stream. Caleb H. Sorry, but I don't know how to read. Nice, Caleb. That's all you gotta do. Okay, so I'm gonna try to switch to this. Oh, that's my YouTube. Okay, wait, is there a way to make this pop out? Top chat. Can I just make this pop out? I don't know. This is so complicated. I want to see the chat still, but I want to go on my Twitter. There we go. That's how I figured it out for now. Okay, so I don't know. I just wanted to go over just stuff that just kind of bothered me. Like there was this thing where, like this thing that we're looking at right now. Wait, can everyone see this? Can everyone see my Twitter? I'm sorry, I don't do this very often. Can I just get like a thumbs up that people are seeing my Twitter and it's not my face? Okay, I'm just gonna go check back on OBS. Okay, yes, people are seeing Twitter. Okay, cool. So like I saw this thing where it was literally like an ad for Domino's. Oh, I don't know if you can all hear my audio on this side. Okay, well I don't know if the audio is important. But basically, look at this shit. It's literally like Maybe you can hear over here. Look at this. This is a Domino's ad, like, right? Like, this is literally like, okay, so this video, just to give like, people a little bit of context. So this video is supposed to be like, oh, look, the Kyle Rittenhouse and the BLM protesters are sharing a piece of pizza together. Like, this is what we need more in America. And like, this is a Domino's ad. Look at this. Like, look at the way they're just like laying it out. Look at that. They have like the I'm just like, but it's working. You know, I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like, it literally worked. Like, it's a Domino's ad, but it's also like, hey, stop being so angry about racism. Can't we all just share a piece of pizza? And I'm like, no, that's not gonna work. We're gonna be angry about racism. And people are like buying it. And it makes me really angry. There's like people in the comments, oh, okay. Oh, this is one. I like how we can come together amid the opposition amid one another, peacefully and respectfully, amidst rising tensions between both sides, which shows that America isn't completely fucked if two opposing sides can get along. It's like, no. A pizza, a Domino's pizza, eating a Domino's pizza together is not our standard for getting along. Okay? Like, what is happening? But it's like, well, America's happening. And I'm just like constantly like watching this, and I'm constantly just like, what the fuck is happening? But I'm like, it's America, okay? And I think a lot of us are having this experience right now where we're just like, what the fuck is happening? And we're like, oh, it's America. Like, but we're also like, you know, don't get too upset because this is the fucking hellhole that we all live in, you know? And so we're just kind of like here. I'm just like, sorry, I don't really know where I'm going with this. Again, for people coming in, I'm just annoyed. I'm just annoyed, and I just wanted to live stream, and just, I don't really have like a point. I'm just like, gosh darn, we live in America, and this is fucking where we are. We're like watching a fucking Domino's ad, like when there was like at a trial of a 17-year-old who should not have been armed, killed people who are literally protesting the murder and brutality of black people, and killed two of them, and then injured another one. And I'm just like, no, but there's pizza. Anyways, you can understand my confusion, perhaps. I'm just like, what is happening? We'll look at some comments. All right. OMG, y'all talking about the Pepsi ad in real life is beautiful. Truly full circle. Yes. Sorry about just this screen of like this awkward, like, whatever this is. Sorry, everyone. I'm not used to this. It's also a greater realization that people sense that something is intrinsically wrong with the constitutional order, but we're powerless to stop it. Yeah. I'm like, what is happening? Because like people have this self-awareness, right? They have the self-awareness to be like, okay, like something's up, but it's like they have a self-awareness that something's wrong, but the way they like pacify it is, I don't know, there's a thought in there where I'm just like, I'm bad. And this is why I don't really do live streams that much, because like I like to be like, okay, like this is what I think. I've thought about this. Here's everything written down, and right now I'm just baffled. I'm baffled, but I'm also like, well, this is America, so like I really shouldn't be baffled. Penflower Inc. says, oh, Penflower, love your art. As an Italian, I am disgusted by the idea of using pizza to make peace with the fash. Yes. Nevertheless, she pizzaed. Yeah. So another thing that I'm reading here in these comments, oh my gosh. Oh, this is it. I think this is another one that really, this is the one that like got me so fucking angry. They said, I get that a lot of people here are upset to see them eating pizza together, but it doesn't mean they agree, and it doesn't mean that they are friends. And I was like, okay, yeah, like Okay, maybe people want some pizza. Okay, that I can agree with. I don't have any problems. People like pizza, people are eating it. And then they're like, what it does mean is they are talking to each other outside of their comfort zone. Sometimes this is what change looks like. And again, I'm just like, no, change does not look like a fucking Domino's ad of just a Domino's ad of people eating pizza together at a murder trial of someone who killed people who are literally protesting the murder and brutality of black people. That's just highly inappropriate. You know, shut the fuck up. Like, just the fact that people are like just out here being like, you know what? This is what justice looks like. Justice doesn't look like, you know, like a change in the justice system. Justice doesn't look like defunding the police. Justice doesn't look like literally just like ending police brutality. Justice is maybe all of us calming down and just eating a slice of pizza. That's specifically Domino's. It's like no. But then people are buying it. I'm just like, I think me and so many people are just having this experience of just like, we're all like, who the fuck is buying this shit? Who's watching this and is like, yes, this is what we need. We need some pizza. But then people are like, yes, that's what we need. And that's what like blew my mind. And that's what I saw this morning. And I retweeted that and I was like, that is blowing my fucking mind right now. Like this. And then like later on I find out it's like Kyle Rittenhouse found not guilty. And it's like, okay, I was expecting that. But I think in the context of the Domino's pizza, that's like kind of like what did it in for me. I was like, okay, but honestly, who the fuck is buying this shit? And then it was so many people, and then it was like, and he's not guilty. I'm like, really? Just, I wasn't expecting anything different. I knew, again, like this is America. And it's like, that video of like, this is America should have literally just had, it should have been like, this is America. And then it should have had like some sort of advertisement in it too, to just be like, yeah, like, it's just blowing my mind. I did want to just maybe, I'll read comments before I like kind of like continue talking, I guess. Justice is Pizza from Lonely Flower Pot. Now we're going to get people showing up to protest arms and waiting for shit like yes. Okay, this is the thing. Yes, lady on this is like the thing that maybe I should like switch over since I'm kind of ranting. Oh wait. There we go. Got my juice. It has tequila in it because that's what I need right now. So, I mean, I don't know. That sounded really rough. Like, ooh. But, I mean, we're all there right now. We just, honestly, we just need a little something. Okay. But, yes, Omni, Lady Omni, like, yeah, like, now we're going to get people showing up to protest armed and waiting for shit like Rittenhouse. It's like, yeah, like, the thing that really bothers me about this situation is that, people, it's literally like people, so Kyle Rittenhouse went there supposedly to like protect property, right? Because they wanted to like protect the property, and it's just, sorry, I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to think of like how to word this. Like maybe it'll come to me as I like can kind of like can like start to puzzle in why I'm just like, this is just so fucked up. So yet another white dude said, I'd like to hear what your opinions, the courtroom conduct, in particular, what kinds of things this trial makes very clear our judicial system is not equipped to deal with. I mean, here's the thing. So like, I think our prisons, I mean, our whole judicial system is like is just so fucked up. Like I am a prison abolitionist. I think our whole, like the whole system is so fucked up. But to me, it's not, in this instance, it's like not like an issue of like prison abolition versus not prison abolition. This is like an instance of like, the reason why people are outraged is because like, what is the message being sent? And it's like, whether whether they intend to send this message or not, in the context of everything that's happened, in the context of Ahmaud Arbery like being killed, like, and here's the thing that's like really fucked up is like a lot of people don't actually know about Ahmaud Arbery, which it like just blows my mind because like for me, Ahmaud Arbery. So for people who don't know, Ahmaud Arbery was just going on a jog in a neighborhood, and yeah, like these people who were like ex-police, I think they were retired, you know, tried to do a citizen's arrest on him, and even though he was literally just going for a jog, and they ended up just shooting him. And I think, oh my gosh, what is it called? Not district attorney. Oh my gosh, Ahmaud Arbery. Oh my gosh, Jackie. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name of the person who's like in charge of like prosecution. Her name is Jackie. Sorry, I just don't want to like say something that's untrue. The former prosecutor, district attorney. Oh my gosh, I'm literally like, it's not district attorney, and it literally, I believe, actually is district attorney. Okay, so she literally was friends with these people who were ex-cops, and like this didn't even go to trial. So basically you have this person who was just going on a jog, and then these ex-cops tried to make a citizen's arrest because they said he was suspicious, even though he was literally just going on a jog, and then they shot him and killed him. And then the district attorney, who was Jackie Johnson, who was friends with them, was like, yeah, we're not even gonna like take this to court. This isn't gonna have a trial. And now I think she's facing charges for not doing her job correctly, and hiding, you know, evidence and things like that. But that happened, and I was like watching that, and I was like, I remember just being like, I was like shaking. And this is before I made my video. Like I made my videos like, how can we talk about race and stuff like that? Because I'm like, okay, like how can we, because I'm like, I think that was like what actually incited it is Ahmaud Arbery, because I was like, holy shit, like I saw that, and it was literally like only Black people who knew about it. Not saying that all Black people knew about it or anything, but like none of my white friends knew what was going on. And I remember like I was like crying, I was like sobbing, I was like, oh my God, like when there's like footage of him being killed, and you just like watch it and you're like, this is person just running for their life, and it's just fucking brutal. And I was just crying, and I was like, people aren't like, and no one, it seemed like no one cared is the thing too, other than Black people, like once again. And I just like could not believe it, like even like thinking about it like right now, it's like, it's just really upsetting. And like, so I made this video like, hey YouTube, how can we talk about race? Because back then I was like, whoa, you just need a Black person. Like, I don't know, I was like, if we just talk about it, this will get figured out. But I'm kind of rambling. I don't really have those stances anymore, and blah blah blah. But the reason why I'm bringing up this story is because like in the context of everything that's happened, like in the context of Ahmaud Arbery being killed, and like before Ahmaud Arbery there was Breonna Taylor, there were so many random videos of Black people being killed that I had seen. There was so much footage of Black people who had died, and like just like nothing, there was like, it was like crickets. And like I had just like seen video after video after video of like people like dying, and I was like nobody gives a shit about us. Like it is literally just us out here, like it's literally just like us out here like asking the state to stop fucking killing us. And so I made that video of like, hey BreadTube, how can we talk about race? But that video is kind of neither here nor there. Like the reason why I'm saying this is because like, long story short, like with this whole thing with like Kyle Rittenhouse, it's like obviously like in the court of law, like talking about self-defense is like, you know, sure, like I think technically that I can see why that argument stands. But if you want to talk about like sending a message, for example, the person who stormed the shaman person who stormed the state capitol, he got one of the harshest sentences because he was the face of this movement. And so they wanted to send a message saying, listen, you can't just storm the Capitol. And if you storm the Capitol and, you know, claim to be the leader or try to show yourself as a leader, if you do that, we're going to like give you a harsher sentence comparatively to send a message. And like, I think that's what's so hard about everything with Kyle Rittenhouse, like the message that is being sent. The fact that this person came to a protest where people were literally like protesting and like even rioting. Like, I don't want to spread any misinformation. I know that like he was there because people had previously rioted. I actually am not really sure of the circumstances of that exact night. Like, I don't know if people were rioting that night or burning things down. So I'm saying that because I don't want to give any misinformation. I'm not saying that to try to like make them look better or worse. I actually just genuinely don't know. But I think either way, whether people were burning down shit or peacefully marching, like they were there to say, stop systematically killing Black people. Stop killing us. That's why they were there. And if they were rioting, they're rioting because they were so fucking angry about the state fucking killing us. And people keep on saying like, well, all you have to do is like peacefully march. And it's like, that has not worked. Unfortunately, people attacking the property has been the only thing that people have fucking listened to, because they don't listen to us when people literally die. They don't give a shit when we're killed. So the only thing that ever fucking matters is your fucking property. And so if people were burning down your fucking property to say, stop fucking killing us, Kyle Rittenhouse came with his fucking family and thought, hey, this is a good thing to fucking protest. We gotta counter protest the people who are saying, stop fucking killing us. Stop systematically fucking killing us. And he thought that was a good idea. And I get that he's 17 and his family obviously fucking sucks because they're the ones who brought him there. But the thing that is so frustrating about the verdict about Kyle Rittenhouse isn't that like you can't make a case for self-defense. It's the fucking message that is being sent. That is what is so fucking brutal in the context of all the people who have been killed. Like, how many fucking people do we have to fucking see die out here? Like, I literally, like, when I was like in high school, I saw Trayvon, like, I saw like the pictures of like Trayvon Martin after he was dead, and he was walking home from like a 7-Eleven to buy Skittles for like his friend. And like, there's literally like the call where he's talking to his friend on the phone and he's like, someone's following me right now. And she says, Trayvon, run. And I'm just like, and they like just character assassinated him. And we're like, he's a thug because he's smoked pot before. He's in high school. Like, so many white teenagers do that and they don't get to be called thugs. Like, just, it was like person after person. Like, so, okay, the reason why I say Trayvon Martin is because he was the same age as me, and like that really fucked with me because I was graduating high school and I was like, he should be graduating high school too, you know? But it was like person after person after person, just seeing person after person die, and it wasn't just like Black men too, it was like all these Black women, just seeing how their lives don't matter as much. Like Sandra Bland, like just like fucked up shit is happening and it just doesn't matter because it's Black people. And so like, it's about the message at this point. It's like, you're gonna like let this 17-year-old like come in here and just like kill people. And like the thing that really bothers me too is like, well, you have a fucking AR-15. Like, so like as someone who's been to protests, if somebody has an AR-15, if someone has a gun, people are like, okay, like watch out for that person because they have a fucking gun. And so like, people don't necessarily like follow, well, people might actually try to get them to go and like, you know, aggravate them to leave or things like that. I mean, I've even seen like a clip of one of my friends, like BP, you know, and I can say this because I know BP like feels fine about this, but there's a footage of them at a protest. There's this person who has like not an AR-15, but like they have a rifle on their back And so like BP was like trying to get them to leave and like just fucking with them. And the reason why I told BP like that's a bad idea because these people like want to kill us. They're like looking for any excuse. Then people was like, well, the reason why that's okay is because they know they can't pull their gun. Anyways, I'm just rambling. I'm sorry. I'm just rambling. But it's just like when there are people at a protest and they have an AR-15, people are like, that's fucking suspicious. And so people want to get them to leave, and so people will often be like antagonistic. And in the video, like Kyle Rittenhouse, like there's like either a paper bag or a plastic bag is like being thrown at him, and it's just like no one. I truly believe like no one needed to die that night. And then literally the other people who come chasing after him, like they are chasing after him because he just shot somebody, and so they're actually trying. They're like, oh, we have an active shooter, because again when I've been at protests, and so like when you hear gunshots, you're like, oh, someone is shooting at us. And so those people were probably just trying to help out because they saw or heard someone shoot somebody. And I know that's what very likely what was going on is they were actually trying to stop an active shooter in their minds, not someone in their minds. It wasn't someone for self-defense. They were like, oh, someone has an AR-15 and they're at a Black Lives Matter rally. Like, we're gonna try to stop them. And so it's like, yeah, like, it's just like no one needed to die that night. And if no one had an AR-15, then people would have been fine. And at the end of the day, it's like the message that is being sent. The message that's being sent is that if people end up like needlessly dying because right-wingers are like heavily armed, then so be it. And it's just really fucking frustrating. Yeah, it's just really fucking frustrating. Like, I think the thing is like, again, going back to the shaman person, they're aware enough to be like, listen, this person's gonna get like a harder sentencing because they are the face of a fucking insurrection. They're the face of this, and so they're gonna get a harder sentencing. And so for Kyle Rittenhouse, it's like the fact that he didn't get a sentencing at all, like nothing. You know, even if it was just something like small, just to be like, hey, you can't get away with this kind of like killing of just, you know, people trying to like stand up to police brutality and systemic murder. They couldn't even do that. They couldn't even just give like a slap on the wrist. And that is what is so fucking insulting in the context of everything, and the context of seeing all these people be killed time and time again, of all these other people being murdered, in just like God knows what, right? There's like so many people where it's like we don't even fucking know, but just know something fucked up happened, and we don't even get to find out. And it's just like the message that is constantly being sent is your life doesn't fucking matter as a black person. In fact, if you're a black person, you're a thug. You're just someone who needs to shut the fuck up unless you're willing to uphold the status quo. And yeah, it was just like a massive fuck you, basically. And that's all I have to say about that. I'll just look at comments now. So yeah, sorry. I don't really know where this is going. I'm just kind of ranting because we're hanging out and we're all really upset. Okay, so Zoe Du Bois said, this is giving me very much To Kill a Mockingbird vibes, except instead of vibes, it has somehow gotten worse. 12 Years a Slave came out and everyone went, oh, those were the days. Okay, I don't know if like 12 Years a Slave is like, oh, those were the days, like as in like it was nice to have a TV show where you are, you know, just are like black and like, yeah, there's a TV show where I feel represented, or if that's like all we're ever gonna get. Just elaborate on that, because I'm just like a little bit, because I can't hear like the tone of your voice, so I'm like, just elaborate on that for me to help me understand. They will act better, they don't want to get shot either. I mean, the way these people are fucking talking, I don't know if they don't want to get shot. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, is that true though? Literally, like, someone on the comments was like saying like, oh, your bio's and your pronouns, so I don't have to take, like, I'm not afraid of you. And I'm like, which one is it? Are we the the thugs, or are we the people with the bios and their pronouns? Which, like, literally, or like maybe we're both. I don't know. It's just like these people, but then it's like, so I guess the thing that bothers me is like, it's like, they're like, oh, like, we don't have to be afraid of you, like lefty liberals, da da da. But then it's like, at the same time, they're like, oh, but you're all like black people who like are really fucking dangerous, and we personally got to stop you. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's part where I'm like, which one is it? Are we like the delicate lefties that are just like, you shouldn't be afraid of, or are we the thugs that you were literally saying that we deserve to be executed on sight? Which is it? So yeah, okay, so Miyu always has been like this. Nothing, God, just nothing. I think it pisses me off because of Julius Jones and the OK government spared his life. The violence done by protesters isn't the same as the violence done by those seeking to disrupt them. Thank you for addressing my comment. Okay, sorry, I'm not doing a great job reading it out. There's a fundamental difference between the acts of violence of the oppressor and those unwittingly or otherwise who protect the will of the oppressor, and that of the violence of the oppressed. It's like, yeah, I mean, like, I'm kind of preaching to the choir, where it's like, there is like the like, and this is what really frustrates me too, because like the last video that I had, it was like my thoughts on the Devash debate and stuff, and I was like saying like, yeah, there is no amount of violence that the oppressed person can do towards their oppressor that's gonna ever compare to like just the genocides that have fucking happened. And I said that, it's like, I said that because I just think that's true, but then obviously like me saying that, people are like gonna be like, oh, well, you want to pull a white genocide, okay. So it's like, I don't know, at the end of the day, like, I made that follow-up video trying to not like worry about whatever debate bros are gonna say, because they're gonna like say whatever they're gonna say about me, and just try to like focus on expressing just my thoughts on that. But the reason why I said that is because it's just like, I don't think people understand like the historical context of like what we're in, and like how truly just devastating it is. Like, you know, like I talk about like, just like, I don't know, just like the American history is just like, just so like, this is why I like don't understand how people can be like patriotic, like the whole like movement to be like patriotic but communist. I'm like, no, like there is not a moment in American history where that makes sense, unless you want to like put your blinders on. Like, literally, like, this country is founded on genocide and slavery, and literally like this, the idea of like how we see whiteness as a racial category, and how that's like oppressive to everyone else, is like, so much of that is like founded and developed in this country specifically for like colonialism and genocide. It's like that's just like where we're starting off from. And it's just like, it's just hard to see like people, I say that not to be like, okay, let's pull a genocide. I say that to be like, people don't understand the historical context that we're in the middle of, right? Like, we're not like in a timeline where it's like, oh, like, so glad that's in the past, glad that we don't have to deal with that anymore. It's like, no, we're in the fucking middle of it right now. And I don't think people understand that. Okay, Amarasaurus, you really have to give up on the genocide thing. It was never about if you approved of genocide. It was about silencing you. Yes, thank you, Amarasaurus. I fucking know that. Like, this is so, I'm sorry. I know you've been following me for a long time, and I know you're trying to be, like, helpful. This is just something that I just want to go off about for a bit. Like, I am talking about this because I'm just talking right now. I'm giving the context to why I'm saying something. So I'm trying to talk about, like, in my last video, I gave the context for, like, how people don't understand the timeline that we're in. And so because I'm mentioning that, and that video was on the debate, I'm also going to mention how, yeah, debate bros aren't going to really understand that. So it's like, I'm giving the context for why I'm saying something. And then in giving the context for why I'm saying something, people are like, oh, like, people do this thing where, like, they kind of almost have, like, secondhand embarrassment for me. like, oh, like, you're just trying to convince the debate bros to, like, not hate you. No, I don't give a shit. Like, I do not give a shit about what debate bros think about me. Like, I am just giving the context for what I'm saying so I can continue talking. And this thing just, like, keeps on happening where, like, I'll express pain. I'll express pain around something, or I'll just express, like, how I feel about something. And then people will be like, you gotta stop chasing clout, or you gotta stop trying to change how people think. And I'm like, no. Like, this is just self-expression and providing context. I am not trying to convince anyone of anything, because I, like, gave that up a long time ago. Like, I literally, like, in one of my YouTube videos that, like, was kind of the beginning of my channel, I was like, if you are not down for this, then just go away. Just go away. Just watch something else. That's fine. So, yeah, that's all I just have to say about that. I'm sorry to go off a little bit. I know that this is obviously from a little bit more of a... Okay, thank you, Omar. I'm probably saying your last name wrong. Omar Soares. And, like, just, if you want to correct my pronunciation, just let me know in the chat. This is also from, like, a, just a pattern I've noticed. It's been really, strange. Like, sorry, this is, like, tangential. This is not about Rittenhouse. We're just kind of getting a little bit tangential here. I have just noticed this really weird pattern of people. I don't mean, like you specifically. I've had this pattern with people where, like, they are just trying to tell me what to do in a way where people think that I'm helpless. And I'm like, I'm actually not. I definitely will ask for help if I feel like I need help or emotional support, but it's just been weird. There have been lots of people who have, like, infantilized me, and it's just been weird. Like, people, like, telling me to do this or that in a way where I'm like, I just don't need people to step in that way. Another thing too I want to say is, like, I'm about to turn 27. I don't think people realize that. I know that's 27 still young. I'm still in my 20s, but it's also like people don't really get that I'm grown. People sometimes think that I'm, like, maybe 18 or 19. Not that you're not grown then and can't make decisions for yourself, but there's a way where, like, I have just been, like, heavily infantilized in a way where I'm like, I get that, like, in my personal life, I get that, where I'm like, oh, this person's infantilizing me. That's weird. I'm just gonna not hang out with them anymore. But it's happened on a mass scale, because this is, you know, this is, like, again, like, this is my platform that I've, like, it's just kind of growing, and I'm just like, oh, this is my first experience of having a platform, and this is new for me, is what I'm saying. I guess, like, having to talk to an audience, having to have multiple people tell you what they think about you at once, and have it not just be like, oh, like a Facebook, like, conversation between a couple people. It's like, it's just, it's like a learning experience. Oh my God. Hey, don't tell Umar to go. Stay. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Please don't go. I am just going off because I've had, like, all these weird experiences, but that is not, that's not you. It just, like, it hit a nerve in a way where it like made me reflect on these other experiences that I've had, but that is not on you. And see, even right now, it's like a learning lesson where I'm like, oh, like, I probably, if I have a problem, like, just don't say, like, the name in the chat, because I don't actually want to center, like, this person and feel like I'm making it hostile for them to be here. Like, even that there is a learning moment. Like, if I see something that, like, makes me think of something that's, like, really frustrating to me, like, maybe keep it more, don't, like, say names of, just don't even, like, mention people in the chat, because, like, I don't want people in the chat to associate it with people. So that was a learning lesson right there that everyone got to witness in real time. So, yep, just learning, just learning how to be on the internet. Everyone take notes, because I don't know what I'm fucking doing. And so you can watch me just fall on my fucking face, and then you can take notes from me. And that way we'll all be big YouTubers one day. We'll all have we'll all just, like, have these platforms. We'll all be, like, telling people stop doing what Kyle Rittenhouse is doing. Don't fucking do that. Stop being the Domino's pizza ad. And we'll all be saying that, and you'll all have learned from me just what not to fucking do. Because I think I've been that example for people. But I'm glad I could be the example of what not to do for so many people. So hopefully when all of us get big on YouTube one day, like, we all are just like, we're not gonna fucking do that. So, okay, hey Ben said demonize or infantilize, two sides of the same coin, I guess. Yes, that is very true. It's been weird, like, getting demonized. I actually don't mind getting demonized. It's just like when people like say like, hey, like, you're this and this, and I'm like, well, no, I'm not. And then I start arguing with them, and I put my emotional energy. That's where it gets exhausting, because then I really start to feel crazy, like, oh, like, do I want to do this bad thing? And I'm like, no, but all these people are saying that I want to. But that's what's maddening about it. If I don't have to engage with people who are telling me who I am, then it's actually not actually an issue. And it's kind of funny. I'm like, I feel, this is fucked up, but like, I feel like kind of powerful. I'm like, there's like literally like thousands. There are thousands of debate bros. There's thousands of streamers out there. I don't even fucking know who they are. And they think I'm like, they're just giving more power. They're giving more power than I have, but it's fucked up, but I feel fucking powerful. I'm like, whoa. I feel like if I literally like put on a boogeyman costume, was like, boo, they'd be like, oh shit, she's coming for us. And I'm like, I don't know. I actually kind of am like reveling in it. I'm like, whoa, like, okay, like, here we go. So that part's actually fine. Like, the part that's been weird, like, the people that I do think are my community, and then just being like, oh my god, like, they are infantilizing me. And that's why I feel like I have to come out and be like, listen, I'm turning 27. I'm about to turn 27, like, and I feel so old, which is like such a something in their 20s to say, like, because, you're still young. But it's like, I have a goofy personality. I think I can be like goofy and stuff like that. But people like literally think I'm a child, and I'm like, there's something about it that's really like just getting on my nerves. But again, that is like from previous. Silver Spook. Oh my god. Yeah, learning to not engage with things you don't want to is important. Yes. We got FD Signifier, you're not old, fam. Okay, well, I'm going through a quarter life crisis. FD Signifier says, I'm a 39-year-old child, embrace it. Okay, see, it's not that like we aren't all like children on the inside, like, living our life. Like, it's like you never grow old. It's like you're always you who's just trying to figure life out. I don't know, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? We're all figuring it out. And like that goes on until you die. But it's like, it's just like, it's like feeling life slipping, the feeling of like life slipping through your fingers. That's what I'm like hardcore experiencing, of just feeling like, just having like a quarter life crisis where it's like, I wanted to do all these things and I feel like I'm not doing them. Which is funny because I'm like on YouTube and doing YouTube, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like, they're literally like, last year was we're still in the pandemic, but like there was like a shutdown for an entire year. And I'm like, okay, but like that year happened during my 20s. Okay? Like, this is supposed to be like the decade of like, oh, you're in your youth and like things are fun. It's like supposed to be that. And it's like, well, it's kind of not. And like, fuck, like maybe I shouldn't dread my 30s because fuck, these are 20s, fuck it, let's drink to that. Woo! For a better decade. All right. That was depressing. Okay. It's the time, let me just try to like, it's the time slipping through your fingers feeling of just like life just rushing past you. And the fact that like the pandemic happened, the pandemic started last year, and like a life in shutdown, or a year in shutdown, and just this like feeling of like just like time, like you can't catch up. that's what I'm like feeling like. And I'm like, oh great, like Trump was president and now Biden is, and like this is the state of the world, and you know, this is this feeling like this is my youth, and like this is how fucked up everything. Like look at this shit right now. Look at this stream right now. Literally, Kyle Rittenhouse gets off, and all of us are just like fucking pissed off, and it's just like great. Like this is how I want to spend my 20s. You know, that's dark. That's dark, but like we're all here right now, and that is why I'm having quarter life crisis. Is like literally like this shit happening right here. We're like literally this child comes in, shouldn't even have been armed, and then like kills people who are protesting the systemic murder of people, and then doesn't even have like a slap on the wrist. And that is why I'm so annoyed that I have to spend my fucking 20s in this fucking hellscape of a world. Because, yeah. And so that's why I'm having quarter life crisis. That's what's going on. It's not that I'm literally old. It's just that, like, you know, I just don't want to, like, it's the world we're in, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm 26 and felt the same was about the pandemic as well. My 20s sucked, to be honest. Okay, good. That gives me hope for, like, 30s. Silver Sweet. I remember the quarter life crisis. Wait till 30s, where you try to function for 4 hours a day without debilitating pain. It only gets better. Oh, Maggie Mayfish says, wahoo! So someone's having a good time. Someone is having a good time, and that genuinely makes me happy, Maggie. That genuinely makes me happy. Emily with a G said, oh, I never had the pain. Oh, I've had the pain since I was 14. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Well, I kind of just don't have much more else to say. I feel like I've kind of did my rant earlier about just my disappointment with this, and it was very rambly, but if people who are watching who just came in, I think that earlier stuff was just more relevant, just like talking about like the context of just the context of the message is like what is such a slap in the face. And I feel like I got that point across, actually. Like I wasn't really sure what to expect because I don't do live streams much, but yeah, I'm probably gonna just wrap it up here because I don't know how to end a live stream, and but I feel like I got to say my piece. Does anyone else have any closing thoughts about this whole situation before? Oh, Ben says sing a song. Oh gosh. I don't even have an instrument down here. Ah, that sucks. I don't have an instrument down here. People fall to analyze what lead to the riots itself. It is so sad. People fail to analyze. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Katsumi Kyoto. Like, I'm just like, okay. I guess like one thing I do want to say before logging off is literally just so like I was like when the uprising happened 2 summers ago, I was like, you know what? Like, so much changed in that summer. I don't want to like discredit it, but people were like literally talking about like defunding the police or even not having a police. People were really starting to talk about prison abolition in a way that just was not happening. And I was like I remember when that was happening, I was like, I would have never thought this was gonna like, you know, the Overton window was gonna like shift to normalize these things. And people really like understood just how oppressive the police were. Like, I think the narrative of like, oh, like you just have to be following all the rules and then the police won't bother you. Like, people really just, you know, that was just made ever more clear that that's just not the reality we live in unless you're very rich. Oh, Aronok, I sadly missed the primary discussion, so I'll have to go back and watch it. I think the last part is like kind of definitely more of the more interesting stuff because we're just wrapping up. But it's like I was so hopeful because I was like, things are changing, and so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try to like make these educational videos like talking about like race and trying to like reach out to people. And yeah, like part of me is just like, I don't, part of me is just like, I don't know, like that the way that I thought that would be possible is just naive. um so RT Signifier says the thing that keeps hitting me is that he killed two white people and nothing happened. Yeah, right? Like literally, like it's like they let this person kill two white people and not have anything happen to prove a point. It's Silver Spook, I think you did a thanks Silver Spook. Yeah, I don't have the skill. By the way, for anyone watching, please go check out Silver Spook. He is a Hawaiian indigenous Hawaiian organizer, and he is just so good. Like literally, like he'll just come in. We'll be like, "Hey, Silver Spook, can you give yourself an introduction?" And he's like, "Hello, my name's Silver Spook," and he just starts talking about all this indigenous activism he does in like Hawaii, and like that is his intro. And I'm just like, damn, that's how I want to introduce myself. I want to be like, hey, I'm Lua. I fucking hate racism. I hate colonialism. Like, let's fucking go. So check out Silver Spook if you haven't already. Yeah, but one thing I do want to just like say before I guess just like logging off is like I really thought that shifted, and I was like, okay, like and that's great, and I'm glad it did, but there was just like this naivete where I was like, oh, like we're gonna really be able to start talking in a way where I've just been completely disillusioned with so much of the online left, of just like seeing just seeing like all the people who are like, oh, like this isn't about, you know, Kyle Rittenhouse, it's not about white supremacy. And I'm like, literally this is a person who is armed specifically to be an anti-protester to the people who are protesting the brutality of black people. This is about white supremacy. This isn't like black people trying to like shove in a narrative just because black people weren't killed. And like seeing that, I guess like just seeing that lose focus, like the focus of like how this is white supremacy, how this is just like the perpetuation of it, the consequences of like not even giving this person a slap on the wrist, like not even like focusing on the consequences of that, but instead of focusing on the technicalities of like, well, this is technically self-defense, like not even giving like like just seeing people that like you had like Black Lives Matter in their profile, you know, just like a few months ago, seeing, you know, ACAB, like even though we literally like all called it like, so like so many black people were like, yeah, like we're just like we literally like, while there was the uprising, we're like, when the uprising's not happening, like you guys still got to give a shit even though you're not going to. You know, like people were like, we all knew that was going to happen, but it was just like seeing it right before my eyes was just very disillusioning. And, but yeah. And at the same time, I think there are people who obviously see that and are very like, this is really fucked up. And I'm really glad that even can happen at the same time, that like people like see this. Oh, FG Signifier says, watch the storyteller video on co-opted movements. Okay. Yes, that is what I'm going to do for the rest of my afternoon. Heck yeah. So yeah, go check out that video. But I think I'm just like very just disillusioned, where I'm just like literally like, I don't know. There's something like seeing it happen, even though like we all called it. It was just like seeing people just not give a shit in real time. Yeah, it was just disillusioning. But I do in some way, like even just like talking to this audience and like seeing people care, like that definitely doesn't mean, that definitely like still means something. And that's great. It's just all very disappointing at the same time. It's like it's just these constant like ups and downs. Like with Chauvin, like he did get a sentencing, which is good. And then like this happens, and then yeah, it's just like all very, it's an emotional roller coaster, and we're kind of just on this ride, and all we can do is really, I guess, like, use our voices to speak and work together and try to support each other. It's like really like all we have the power to do, which I guess is also really beautiful that that's what we have the power to do. It is just like, obviously it's just hard right now. So Silver Spook says, yeah, sadly police murder, racism, racialized capitalism is heavy in the U.S. state of Hawaii. That is the theme of Neo Feud. Yes, plug your game in. Silver Spook has a game called Neo Feud, and I haven't played it yet, but it's like this cyberpunk game that is about Hawaii and colonialism, and it just sounds like really fucking cool. Silver Spook just like made this game. I think like he made part of it like in his car too, like he was like leaving out his car or something like that, and it's just looks so cool. So go check it out. Yeah, and I guess okay. So before I wrap up, any last closing thoughts just on this bullshit? So people can like voice their opinions out to the void, and I'll read them out. And okay, Benoplusty has just literally like the face. So I feel it, Ben. Ooh, Alex Z says, I bought the game, haven't played it yet, but it looks super cool. Aeronox says, seriously, Silver puts Punk back in Cyberpunk. Yes. What's it called? It's called Neo Feud. You know, I'll just drop that in the text right now. Neo Feud. And look up Silver Spook. Silver Spook is in the chat right now, and you can click on that and you can see his YouTube, which I'm sure will bring you to his game as well. On his Twitter, I believe Neo Feud can be found linked there. But yeah, it just looks really fucking cool. Okay, Afro and Indigenous Solidarity. Woo! Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna end the stream there. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Sorry that life is depressing, but it's nice going on this ride with you all. That is genuinely a positive. So yeah. All right. Thanks everyone. Have a good afternoon or whatever time it is where you are. Have a good rest of your day. Yeah. Bye. I'm so awkward. Okay. Bye.